Alright people, Dared vp-20 tube amp, 6L6 variant. Very nice, low cost tube amp. Doesn't break your bank. Used market, you could probably get them for $500, $600, depending on the tubes. For me, I have about $650 worth of tubes here on this one. I got the new old stock 7581s, which are really good. Nice, vibrant, wide sound stage on these. I don't know if you can see it, but new old stock GE 7581s. For your drive stage, I'm using new old stock RCA black plates. And for the preamp stage, I'm using the France drive stage 12AU7, but I find that these tubes work the best with my system. But these amps, as you know, will accept all different types of variants of 6L6s, so there's a whole bunch of different ones you can use. This, of course, is the newer model with the gold-plated tube sockets and the gold-plated circuit boards. Probably can't quite see it in there. But anyways, my pods, my volume pods on these started making a lot of noise. Depending on how you're using them. I drive it with an Oppo. My source is an Oppo, and I usually had these about 3/4 of the way and was just running the Oppo's preamp. But anyways, when you adjust these volume pots, no matter how you're using it, if it's you're using a preamp or not, or using these as a preamp, these eventually start getting real scratchy, and it gets pretty nerving when your tweeters are squealing when you're turning them. So I'm going to show you a super easy way of how to clean the volume pots. Basically, it's only 5 screws. Allen wrench for there. I think it's a 332s maybe. And underneath here, simply unscrew these 4 and you can get to the volume pot. I did just clean my right channel amp, and this is my left channel. And right after I cleaned it, I noticed that the volume pot moves way easier. This one's a little tight, has a lot of resistance. So I'm going to unscrew the 4 screws on the bottom. Again, super easy, but it's just a matter of time when you need to clean volume pots on basically any amp. So instead of risking frying one of your tweeters on your speakers, just take the 5-10 minutes and spray them down. Don't need to replace them or anything. So anyways, I got the 4 screws out here. Simply pull this off Be careful of the volume pot connectors, of course. Don't want to stress those out or pull them off. And then on here, you see on the back cover of the volume pot, there's two little screws. And you have to unscrew those out. No big deal. Again, just don't stress out the connectors, the wires, because then you'll have to be doing some soldering, which isn't a big deal either. However, it's nice if you can avoid that. All you need is pliers, screwdriver, Allen wrench, contact cleaner. I've had these in my system for over a year. Really happy with them. Have I had better amps in my system? Yes. Were they more expensive? A lot. So again, these are really good low cost amps for cheap money. And you can use them as a preamp with the volume control, or as I do sometimes, I have the Oppo running completely wide open into these. Depending on how you want to run your system, or whichever sounds best. Alright, so here's the cover. Simply pulls off. Just a simple cover. And you take your contact cleaner and spray in those 4 little holes on the volume pot, and I also spray the top also. So fire away. You don't have to be really careful. This contact cleaner, of course, is made for this, and it dries super quick. But be sure when you soak it, be sure to right away turn, keep turning and work that volume pot. And I just do it 3 or 4 times. I kind of go crazy. Make sure it's getting enough in there. Again, keep working it. Work it out. Keep working back and forth. Doesn't hurt to spray a little bit in here. Doesn't hurt the wood or anything. Just any way possible to get that in there. If you want, you can unscrew these 2 here and try to spray in between here, in between the front wood piece. I really don't know if it does anything, but if you have OCD like me, you're going to want to try to spray as much as you can in there. So I'm going to spray it in between, soak that bad boy. Again, work it out, keep turning. It's starting to loosen up a little bit. You can feel the resistance on the volume knob itself loosening up a bit. So I'm going to spray it one more time. And move it one more time. Now it's really loosening up. Just keep doing it until it loosens really good. till there's just the slightest of resistance on the volume knob itself. There. I think we got it. I think we're good. One more time. There we go. I wouldn't just spray it once or twice, just keep going until it really loosens up a lot. This is really good here. I think we got it. I think we have it. So I'm going to do the impossible and put the cover back on. Make sure you put the cover on correctly to where it does cover. It does cover the contacts. Because if you do it the other way, if you actually turn this around the other way, you're going to be leaving that little piece open. I don't know if you can see it there. So just make sure, obviously, that the cover's back on. No big deal. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you just do the impossible with these little nuts on here. Get them started. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yes, I know this is a real exciting video, but hang in there. Hopefully I didn't lose most of you people here. But basically that's it. You just take out those 4 screws, take the cover off here, and you're good to go. There. Alright. And of course, tighten them down. And then you simply just put everything back together. Put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That, make sure it's flush. Then you put your Allen screw back in there. Obviously, put your 4 screws back in on the bottom. And for your gold socket tubes, since you have your tubes out, just simply spray those a little bit. Bada bing, bada boom. And also before you put them back, before you put your tubes back, I always spray the contacts on the tubes themselves. Even though if they don't look corroded or anything, it's good to just, since you have them out, hit all the contacts on those. And carefully put them back in without bending anything. And your dared vp-20 will be back with no scratchiness and no crazy spikes through your tweeters. See, as this one here, it's much looser now. It just turns freely. Even, of course, when I screw these back in, it's still gonna, the mechanism just turns a lot easier. And that's it. Pretty basic, pretty easy. Enjoy your dared vp-20s. They're really neat amps. I've enjoyed mine, and they'll probably stay in my system for a while because they're just nice amps. Alright, hope I helped someone out there.